we should be able to roll this bad boy around. Not perfect, but this is... Ah! Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Subaru Saturday. In last week's video, we were able to remove the differential housing, the fuel tank came down, and a lot of other miscellaneous parts. But in today's video, we're gonna be pulling the engine out of the 2.5RS. Thank you guys for watching, and let's jump right into work. The very first thing we need to do is get the front bumper, the grille, and the headlights out, so we're just gonna jump right in and start tearing these pieces off. Okay, there's one. We have these 10 millimeters here. After you get the headlight loose, you can go ahead and get this blinker out. Make sure to disconnect the electrical connections. And I think we have two 10 millimeters right here. And the headlight should be ready to come out. I already have it disconnected in the back. Just be careful. One headlight's out, and let's go ahead and do the other one. So behind this wheel well liner, we have a 10 millimeter holding the bumper on right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out. Now that the headlight is out and the bumper's loose under the wheel wells, you've got little push clips here, 3 of them, and then the front bumper will come right off. Let's go ahead and get those knocked out. Next thing to remove while it's on the lift is going to be this big crush bar. It comes down, the fog lights come down with it. To remove the crush bar, there is I believe it's a 17 or a 16 here. And on this side, we actually had to weld in a bolt when I had this removed previously because the nut broke off the crush bar. That one might be like a 19, I can't remember, but we're gonna get these two taken out and then the crush bar just pulls right out of the front. Really, if there was no rust on this car, it would come apart so easy and this job would be half the amount of work. Look at this core support, guys. I'm pretty sure this is from a leaky radiator or a hose. Antifreeze continued to get on here, water, anything. As it already was rusted, it just got worse and worse. And I do have another core support from a Subaru Impreza L out of these 90s, and I got that from the pull apart. You saw me cut that up in the first video of the series, like I said before, but we're gonna be cutting this as far back as we can and welding in that new one. I'll show you guys what that looks like when we get there, but yeah, really bad rust here. This is probably the worst on the entire car. If the whole car was like this, I don't know if we'd be able to save it. Let's get this car on the ground and really start to remove some of the engine components. All right, here we are, guys. The car is on the ground, and as you can see, it is so much higher than it naturally would sit. After I get this engine pulled, next would be the cradle, or the transmission, and then the cradle for the engine. Without me talking anymore, because I always do, I want to just start yanking this engine out. There we go. Part of the intake off. I'll try and show you every part that I remove as I take it off. First, making some space. Perfect. That one down there is a little tough to get to, and there's one on the back side. It goes from here, which is attached to the head over here, and this side also runs over to this side of the head. If you can see it, it's right here. Got the clip off by hand. Yeah, that was so much easier than pulling it off the intake. And let's go ahead and yank this out. I think that was everything that was holding it. Okay, boom. Got the clip off. Let's see if I can get this hose out of here. There we go. Not in bad shape at all. I don't think there's any leaks. Set this aside. I think while we're over here, I can get this fuel filter out. Just like that, fuel filter's off. I love this little clip thing we got here. I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. Then we have these two connections here. Oh, this one's coming right off. So all the fuel lines are detached now. Now we're ready to remove the expansion tank. Get one. Okay, good. I'm just gonna go ahead, get that lower radiator hose off. Oh yeah. I don't think I have the fans plugged in just because I knew the fans weren't gonna work. Yo, check that out. Those fans are completely shot. We're gonna be replacing those. I'm gonna set this aside by the drain and show you guys just how bad the rust is. Yeah, so whatever was causing the rust in the front was just so bad that it's starting to eat away at these fans. Next, the air condenser lines. I think I removed this one here, and I have to remove this long one off the pressure tank. So far, I would say everything's going pretty swell. And I'll try and get a zoom on it for you. There was a 10mm holding this long condenser line to the pressure switch. Nice. You could really see just how bad this core support is from the top. We've got a whole 5-6 inches here missing, and it's in really terrible shape. You get the low pressure air condenser line. This little pipe comes out of the way, and then this comes out like that. Nice. Very nice. All right. While I'm down over here, we've got these two heater hoses that need to be removed. Might as well drop those out of the way. 1 and 2. I know I let those loose from when I installed it. Kind of can just tuck these out of my way for now. The slave cylinder was loose. We have this mount here. We're gonna pull this out. Oh wow, I left it finger tightened. All right, we're making some good progress. We've got a ground wire here we need to remove. Oh, wow. What the heck happened here? Get some penetrant on that. JB80, come on, reach out to me. I need a new case of this stuff. I'm almost out of my last bottle. I'm gonna have to go to the store and pick up some more. Or you guys could just send me a case and I'll shout you out in all my videos because I love your product. All right, let's see if we can get that free now. Let me put some JB80 on there. Man, that's tight. Wow. Yo, look at that. After a little bit of fighting with it, it broke free. Shout out to JB80 and the Milwaukee wrench. The Milwaukee wrench really helped with that, I think. Oh, you know what? While we're down here, might as well go ahead and pull the starter connection. You got a little plug down here that comes off. We got a 14mm here on the top. Set that aside for now. Nice. Starter came right out. Slide this through and see how I get this electrical connection off. Oh, there was a little button I needed to press here. That's why it wasn't going. Nice and easy. We got this bracket on here that... Grab that. Oh, we got this vacuum line for the brake booster. Okay, that's gone. I need to remove a bunch of the electrical connections, and I never liked this portion of the work. Got these here. Got the main harness we gotta pull. 1, 2. I like those. Those are lift clips. We got 3. We got 1 on the trans, it looks like. Down here. Okay. And that main harness can pretty much just be moved out of the way for right now. Down here, let's get this bracket off real quick. This bracket is a 14 millimeter, it looks like. Go ahead and get those by hand so I don't drop them underneath the car. Okay, get this bracket out of here. We got a couple small things here, like this 10 millimeter holds the power steering lines. And the way the pump is, we could just move it out of the way because it's not attached. I need a new tensioner for the accessories. This is broken. We're gonna go ahead and move this power steering pump really quick out of our way. Take this belt right off. This was from a Forester in the junkyard. And this will just set aside. We have some electrical connections here. Looks like this 10 millimeter ground wire for the alternator. Very good. This electrical clip right here. It's just a different style clip. We got AC compressor switch lines. That's one. Like that. Almost all the wires are out also. Go ahead and loosen this here. Okay, you gotta bring this one all the way down. Okay. Now that the whole cable's loose, I'm able to play with it a little easier. There we go. Okay. That cable's out. There's a sneaky bell housing bolt right here under these electrical clips. I believe it's a 14 millimeter. Like I was saying before, it'll hold the bell housing to the engine block. We got the 2 lower nuts for the bell housing to the engine. And honestly, I think this thing's ready to be pulled. There's this nut right here and one on the opposite side that I have to pull. Cool. Let's move to the other side. I'm pretty sure that's everything holding it together. So I need to move some of the parts out of the way so I can get the cherry picker in front of the RS and start pulling that back. Luckily, I thought I was gonna need to remove the hood, but this hood actually goes really far back. I'm gonna get a different prop, something to hold it up. And I think that I'll be able to just pull this thing straight up and out. I'm gonna go for it and see what we can do. I gotta go ahead and mount some chains onto it really quick. Then we're gonna go ahead and see if we can pull it out. There is one spot I wanna show you. We're gonna mount one of the chains right here. There's a nice little hook there. And the first time I did it, I used this bracket right here. Looks like that's for the condenser, or the compressor, I'm sorry. We're gonna go ahead and put a chain on this bad boy, and then hopefully this thing just comes right out for us. All right, so as you can see, we brought the cherry picker up and we just have nowhere near enough room to extend it over the engine. Definitely gonna just try and lift the lift, slide the cherry picker underneath and see if we can lift the engine high enough to get it out over the front of the core support. But yeah, as of right now, this isn't gonna cut it. Let's see what we can do. All right, we got it up in the air a little bit. Let's go ahead and move this floor jack in. Wow, I'm sorry, the cherry picker in. And I think this might work. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna bring the long arm back in on the cherry picker so we have more reach to bring it up. Let's see if when I bring this thing in. As deep as we can. That's as deep as we can go. Let's see if I lift it. I think this will be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get some chains on here, and then I'll show you guys what we're working with. So I can't get the chain around here. What I'm gonna do is remove the alternator, and hopefully there's a bracket underneath the alternator that I'll be able to hook the chain up somewhere. Otherwise, we gotta find some smaller chains. After removing the alternator, it looks like I can feed this chain through here. Ultimately, that's what I wanted to do. Go ahead and take this big chain, take this link off here, and I will link this just like, if I could do it. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and thread this back down so it doesn't come apart. Okay, now we have the chains all hooked up, and we're gonna attempt to start jacking this thing up and see what happens. Just tap it in there. Oh, there it goes. Nice. Nice. Just inject. There we go. You gotta go up high enough and then over that engine cradle. Underneath, I needed to clear that stud there. You could just see right there. There's one on each side. Right there. You can see it's clear. Now we just need to bring it forward. I think this is where it'll be a little more difficult, trying to bring the thing forward. We're getting pretty close, but it's getting a little more dangerous, and the way that I have this thing twisted isn't correct. For some reason, my piece locked up on me, so I can't twist it the way I need to. Well, with that last pry, it came free. Probably could have taken the entire car down with it. Lucky that that didn't happen. We got it now. We're gonna see if we can get this thing up and over. We'll see. Boy, it's scary close here, guys. Before I go any farther, I'm gonna see if I can get my jack stand underneath the engine just in case something happens here that we're not expecting. We actually need like another foot to be able to put this up. So we're just gonna go slow and keep going up. Hopefully the body doesn't move at all. All right, this is about to be crazy, but I need to drop this a little bit so I can get some more height on it. Yo, I cannot believe that, with the engine sitting right here. Yo, this is pretty sketchy. The engine is legitimately free sitting right here. This is terrifying. All right, here it goes, guys. Trying to get this thing out. This is it. I'm gonna run if it starts to fall. Hey. See if we can bring this thing back at all. Holy smokes. Am I clear? This thing could shift really hard while I bring it down. Bring it back a little bit. This is sketchy. Oh, it's rolling forward. Come on. I still don't want to drop it. I'm gonna go get a dolly. Let's bring it down the rest of the way. Not what I wanted. I don't know what just snapped there. I'm just literally gonna let it sit on the oil pan for now. Oh my God. I swear that was the scariest thing that I've ever attempted by myself, other than when I almost dropped the car off the lift. That was terrifying. I'll never do that again, I swear. That was not needed. Oh my gosh. Before I go, I'm gonna have to go home for a bit today. I'm gonna get this thing off of the cherry picker. And now, hypothetically, we should be able to roll this bad boy around. It's not perfect, but this is... Ah! As you can see, we got the engine out of the 2.5RS. It was seriously the worst experience that I've ever had with the car so far. It was a terrible idea to try and lift the engine over the core support while it's already this high in the air. I mean, I'm telling you what, this was not practical. But I just continued to do it because I was already in the middle of the process and I just couldn't stop. Here's the engine, and I had it on those dollies. You see, I just dropped it off the dollies. I'll have to pick it back up with the cherry picker, and we're gonna continue on from there. Get this thing moved to a spot where it could sit for a little bit before I tear it down and address everything that's going on under the hood in the engine compartment.